All right, welcome to episode number 3 of the GT Sports Pro College Podcast. This is the podcast where I talk professional and college sports. This is episode number 3. And like I said, I'm going to come on every day. There's always something going on in sports. So I'm going to be talking. Sometimes it'll be real short. Sometimes it might be a little longer, but they're not going to be like an hour podcast, but they're just going to be podcast where I come in and just kind of talk about what's hitting the headlines. Every morning I get up and I'm reading certain things that are happening, breaking news. It could be from the NFL season is coming up, NBA, the draft's coming up, where the MLB baseball season. You got to the World Series right now. Game 3 being played tonight, NBA Finals. You've got some UFC fights coming up. We'll also talk some wrestling as well as I get into the WWE as well. So it's just kind of a mix of anything that is hitting the news that I see that I like to talk about. And, you get to know a little bit about myself. You'll be able to tell which teams I like and which teams I do not like, which players I'm a fan of, which players I do not like from each sport. So be a little interesting. And like I said, I'm going to give my opinion. I do a lot of reading, but I also give my opinion. I'll be right a few times. I'll be wrong a lot of times, but I'll give my opinion based on what I read, what I see, interviews that I see, that I follow, sports writers that I follow, and then hopefully that'll stir up a little debate here with some people here that might maybe following the podcast and like it. It's all about talking sports. I do it all the time, every day, all year. So I thought maybe I'd bring it on here. And if people want to debate me or talk about sports or challenge me, this is the place to do it. Or you can, on the podcast right now, I'm uploading them, pre-recording and uploading. Eventually, I'll go live on this page. Or you can put a comment in if you disagree. And I'm always looking at the comments, see if anybody puts anything in, and then I'll reply back. So we could do it that way, or you can jump on the podcast and we can talk sports here on this channel, this Facebook channel. Right now, it's pre-recorded. It's uploaded to the GT Sports Pro College YouTube channel, and then it's just shared over to the Facebook page right now. So eventually, we'll open it up to Spotify and Twitter and all those other social media. But right now, YouTube and Facebook is where you can catch this podcast. So here we go, episode number 3. Let's go in with the big game tonight, which is game number 3 of the Women's College Softball World Series. So you've got Texas Tech, number 12, but taking on number 6, the Texas Lady Longhorns. As I've said before on this podcast, I'm a Texas fan. So Texas Tech was playing OU, for example, I'd be rooting for Texas Tech. But I love the Lady Longhorns. I'm a Longhorn fan. I follow football, follow basketball, volleyball, I follow softball, baseball. So I'm just a UT fan. So obviously, I'm rooting for the Lady Longhorns to win tonight. They won the first game 2-1 with Kennedy and Kavan really going at it. There was the way that game was won was kind of like wow. The obstruction that got the one run for Texas Tech, and then Reese Atwood, they were going to intentionally walk her. She takes a chance, hits the ball, gets able to get it to the outfield, and scores 2 runs that were on second and third, and Texas ended up winning that game. Then last night, Texas Tech comes back. They needed to win, and they get the win 4-3. And we talked a little bit about, I said, for Texas Tech, it's got to be Kennedy. I mean, there's no other choice, right? If she's healthy and she can pitch, she's going to pitch because you got to get the win. She's your best pitcher. So I figured that she was going to pitch, and she did. For Texas, I felt like Tegan Kavan did not have to pitch this game. You had one win in your pocket. So, you've had Gutierrez, you've had Mac Morgan. So there were options there. Morgan had been there. She's pitched well. She's been in these big games. And so Coach White decides to go with Morgan. Now, the only way I would have put Tegan in is if we were to have gotten a lead, let's say 2-0, 2-1, or 3-2, then I'm bringing my ace back to try to hold on to that lead, right? But that's the only way I have. The choice would have been not to start her. The only way she comes into the game for me is if we are able to get a lead at any time in that game, then she's going to finish it out for us. But that didn't happen. I thought Morgan pitched well. He went with three pitchers. That's Texas, Coach White, Morgan. I think it was the freshman Salmon and Gutierrez. So he went three. I don't have a problem with going with three. I mean, I think Kavan will be a little bit more rested. I don't know if that's going to make a difference tonight, but you know, he gave it a shot and it didn't work. Right, we ended up losing by a run, but I think the girls pitched well. There were some mistakes that were made in game two that were not made in game one that really cost the Lady Longhorns, cost them some runs. And so we didn't play our best game. And so, look, you credit Texas Tech. They came out, they knew they had to win. The backs against the wall. They did what they needed to do. But Texas didn't play their best game, right? So tonight, winner take all for the Lady Longhorns. They've got to play their best game of the year, right? This is it. The team that wins this game will be crowned champion. So I thought the girls, all three of them pitched well, just not good enough to win. But again, there were some mistakes there. On the offensive side, they got 3 runs in the last 2 innings. Mia Scott, I think, hit the home run. So that's something. If you're Texas, offensively, it looked like toward the end of the game, you saw some runs being scored that were able to hit off of Kennedy. That was good. So scoring 3 runs in the last 2 innings is positive, I think, even though you came up a little short. Hopefully that'll carry over to this game. But offensively for Texas, you've seen Kennedy, right? You've seen her now 13 innings because she pitched 6 in game 1, 7 last night. So you've seen her for 13 innings. So now, I mean, you've got to be able to get hits off of her now for Kennedy, man. She's been great. I said in the first podcast that I've seen her go the distance. I've seen her pitch multiple innings, right? I've seen her come back in the World Series and pitch one day and come back the next day, pitch the next day, and been very successful. So after 13 innings pitched, now she'll probably have to pitch another 7 tonight. I mean, she's probably going on adrenaline, but emotionally fatigue, that kicks in as well. So I think offensively for Texas, you've seen her a lot now. I mean, you can only throw so many pitches, right? So you've seen her. Hopefully Texas has seen enough where they can get some hits off of her. She's been pretty much great, phenomenal against a really good offense and being able to shut them down, with the exception of these 3 runs, one that was scored in the 6th last night and then 2 in the 7th. I think that they made it a game, but fell a run short. But nevertheless, Texas Tech, they're going to go with Kennedy. The Lady Longhorns have seen her 13 innings, so we'll see if tonight they can get hits. Maybe they've seen something in her where we'll get a little lucky here and be able to put some runners on base early, because I think it's early too. I think Texas needs to hit her early because she's probably a little fatigued, I'm sure, but if it goes 0-0 into the middle innings, then I think it's an advantage for Texas Tech, right? Because I think she becomes stronger. So for Texas, I think even if you get 1 or 2 runs early on, you've got to be able to jump on her quickly and get some runs in there. I think for Texas, so we can do that. I think we can. We'll have a good chance of winning. If it's 0-0 going into the middle 8 innings, it may benefit Texas Tech. I don't know. We'll see. And for Texas, it'll be Tegan Kavan, right? So both of these pitchers are going to be good tonight. I would think that Tegan has an advantage because she was able to rest where Kennedy hasn't. That's just what I think. It may benefit Kennedy because she's just been on the road, right? I mean, I don't know, but Tegan will come in a little bit rested up. And they're both going to give it their all tonight. This may come down to, again, game 3, like game 1, where, it could be a mistake where a pitcher just makes a mistake and there's a home run hit, or there's fielding mistakes where there's an overthrow or something, a missed catch, where one team gets lucky on base and gets in scoring position. Because, look, either one of these teams can win this game 1-0, 2-0, 2-1. I mean, they don't need to score a lot of runs. And so I think it's going to be another dogfight all the way to the end. And like I said, I would think that Texas would have the advantage because Kennedy has pitched now coming in. I know she's getting some. It's a little different going back to back, like after one game and then having to play a doubleheader. She's able to go home or go back to her hotel, get some rest, and come back. So it's not like she's going like back to back. But nevertheless, I think the advantage for Texas, I would think, would be that you have seen her now multiple times, 2 days in a row where it's just been her, right? So as I said, you can only throw so many pitches. So hopefully they have seen something. They can figured something out where some of these hitters can get on, put some pressure on that Texas Tech defense, get some runs. Look with Teagan, if she's on tonight, 2 runs may be enough for either team. So it's going to be another pitching duel. And listen, I mean, Kennedy, she's been awesome. 2 days pitching, really hasn't given up much to a really good Texas offense, right? But maybe Texas figures something out. Like I said earlier, scoring 3 runs, 1 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th last night. Let's see if that rolls over now to tonight. But it's going to be a good one, and I'd definitely love to see. I won't be too sad if Texas Tech wins because I think, I mean, I'm a Kennedy fan, right? I mean, I think she's awesome. Texas, it's going to come to the state of Texas one way or the other, but I'm a Lady Longhorn fan. I'm a Longhorn fan, so I'm definitely rooting for Texas, the Longhorns, to get their championship. I think it's deserved. Both of them deserve it, but the Lady Longhorns have been there a few more times in the past, and they've come up short. So I would really hate to see them come up short. I think it's well deserved for both teams, but I definitely would love to see Coach White and the Lady Longhorns get the win tonight, but they're going to have to try to hit off of the best pitcher in the game tonight. So that game starts here in a couple of hours. I definitely got my bonus wings and everything right here next to my desk, set up and ready to go. Got my tea ready to go. So I'm ready to watch this game and eat some wings. So that'll take place here in a couple of hours. So that's the game number 3 of the women's softball college World Series tied 1-1. Texas Tech taking on Texas should be a good one. For last night, it was Mia Scott who got that home run, and the girls, the Lady Longhorns, made it a game here toward the end, but came up a little short. I said for Texas, Coach used his 3 pitchers, came up a little short. And then for Texas Tech, it's Kennedy. Already pitched 13 innings here in the World Series. She'll have to go at least another 7, maybe more tonight. And she'll have to, she's been good game 1 and 2, but she'll have to be even better tonight to be able to bring that championship back to Red Raider a country. Let's see if she can do that. Should be a good one, man. Definitely looking forward to it. So that's all I have here for softball. I'll definitely come back tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be cheering that my team won, but either way, whether they win or lose, I'll definitely come on and recap that game. That's tomorrow. I also like to talk about game 1, recap game 1 of the NBA finals, man. Talking to everybody, at work and everybody, the youngsters, it's Oklahoma City. They're going to win. I mean, I'm reading articles. And I mean, before game 1 was played, I was reading articles following sports writers, and it was, Oklahoma City's going to win. And there's just no way. They were already giving it to them. They're going to win in 5. Indiana has no chance. At work, pretty much everybody was going for OKC, and I definitely understand why. I mean, the MVP, they got home field advantage, right? They play great defense. They're young. Why would you go against them? That's kind of crazy. But I did. I watched a couple of games from Oklahoma City throughout the playoff run. I watched more of Indiana. So for whatever reason, I was more in tune to the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. So I was watching them, but I watched more during this playoff run, Indiana, their games versus Oklahoma City. I watched a couple of OKC games, but I really watched more of the Indiana games and the highlights and the stats I read from OKC. But just what I saw from Indiana. The one thing that was really surprising to me, the way they played, was consistently their bench, their role players. I mean, Halliburton and Siakam are really good. I think Pascal Siakam was the difference when they went out and got him from Toronto. But their role players, man, they play good. They can hit the three. Their bench, they can depend on their bench. They show up. So it's a tough team to defend. There's multiple of guys. There's not one superstar, but they're good role players that contribute on the road and at home. And not to mention that they've been behind and they've had a couple of comebacks. So with all that, and then I thought that they had an advantage with Brett Carlisle as your coach. I just liked the way they play. I thought that they had a good chance to win this series. And I said last night that they needed to win one of the two. They cannot go back to Indiana in this series 0-2, because if they lost both in OKC, they were not going to win the series. I mean, they could have even won both games in Indiana, but it would have just taken a whole heck of a lot. And then I thought that OKC would finish them off or win game 5 and then finish them off in 6 or 7. I just thought that that would be too big of a hole to dig deep out. So I said Indiana has to split the series in OKC. And I felt like game 1 would be the advantage for them, because I thought that they could surprise OKC, and I thought, and I also said, SGA is going to get his. I felt like he could get 42 points and still lose the game, as long as the other guys didn't get off his players. So you let the MVP go, you let him get 38. He ended up with 38. But I said if he gets 42, 44 points, I still felt like if they could shut everybody else down and not let anybody else from OKC go off, I felt that even if Shea got his, I still felt if they shut everybody else down, they could win this game. And as I'm watching this game, because I'm watching both the World Series and the game 1 of the NBA Finals, I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be a blowout. I mean, they're coming back a little bit, and then they get down early in the 4th. And I said, man, it's going to be tough. They're going to have to make some adjustments and come back for game 2, right? Which where I think Rick Carlisle had the advantage. But being down by as many as they had, I didn't see them being able to come back in this game. And Halliburton then not calling the timeout and just letting them run, which I've heard, sometimes that's the best thing to do because the defense doesn't get a chance to set up. And then Halliburton, man, just didn't have a great night scoring offensively, but when he needed to make a bucket, pulls up, man, and just hits it, shoots it, and hits the net, and it goes in with I think it was 0.3 seconds left. I thought, oh my God, they make the comeback yet again. They've done that against New York. They did that against Cleveland. They did it against Milwaukee, and I thought, wow, sometimes when things like that happen, it's just your year, right? And you're probably going to end up winning the whole thing, but. I think the biggest difference I saw, and I've been seeing this from them, is they don't believe they're ever out of a game. You're down 15, you're down 12, you're down whatever the case may be, with just a few minutes left. Over and over again, there's been no quit in this team, and so I thought that for them is we're always in this game. We're gonna make that comeback, right? We're not out of this game, and you have to have that mentality to be able to come back from 15 points down or whatever it was to win game 1. For OKC, you're up 15, right? So you're like, okay, probably going to win this game. I mean, we've been winning the whole game, right? They were ahead the whole game, I think. And so, it's an eye opener now to see that, man, they came back. We lost at home. That's heartbreaking when you play the way you play. Your star player hits almost 40 points to get 38 in the game, and you still lose the game. That's heartbreaking because you did everything right except finish the game, right, to close out the game. And so you end up losing the game. That's tough, especially in a best of 7, where game 1 you play your best game, and you don't come out with the win. For Indiana, you didn't play great at all. I mean, Halliburton didn't play great. I think all the starters were in double digit. I think Toppin off the bench had a double digit points, but you didn't really play your best game. So if you're Indiana, we really didn't play our best game from start to end. Now we played better toward the end and made a run to get the win, but we really didn't play good. This isn't the best. We haven't played our best game yet. This game too on Sunday may be our best game. So if you're Indiana, we didn't play very good, yet we came up with the win. If I'm Indiana, I'm feeling good. If I'm OKC, I'm like, we let one get away. Will that game that they should have won, will that bite them in the butt? We'll see. It bit New York in the butt. I was having people tell me, yeah, well, OKC isn't um, New York. They're different, and that's not going to happen to them. And look what happened to them. Indiana is a very scary team. They don't have that star player like Oklahoma City does, but they're a great team. There's a lot of trust in there. And look, in this playoff run and in game one of the championship, they've had to come back in the game to win it, or they take the loss. And in every game that they've been behind, I think game one or two, they've been able to come back, right? That just builds confidence in them. So if I'm Indiana, I'm feeling good. You get the split. Do I think the series is over? No, no way. I mean, OKC is going to bounce back. And I think they're going to win game two. But a game that was in your hands, a game that you should have won, and you don't in the best of seven, that game that you should have won but lost could come back to haunt you. We'll see if it does. But I took Indiana before this series started, and I'm going to stick with them. I don't think it's going to be easy. OKC, there's no one that can stop SGA, right? Like he's going to get his points. I mean, they just had a difficult time. He had 38, and he's going to continue. Maybe he'll have an off game, but more than not, he's going to get his points. You just got to make sure you shut everybody else down. And if you can do that, you give yourself a chance. But what a win for Indiana. And to take game one. And like I said, for me, if I'm OKC, it definitely hurts. It stings because that was our game to win. We played well from start to pretty much the end to win that game. But it was that last quarter where we didn't play our best. We let them get back in the game. And then it comes down to one shot, pulls up, shoots it, gets it in there with 0.3 seconds, and you end up losing the game. So that's a heartbreaker. Now, game two, for me, they've got to win. OKC, I'm sure that they will, but they've got to win. They can't go down 0-2 or they're out. If they lose game two, if Indiana somehow pulls out another win in game two, then Indiana's going to win the series. So this is a must-win game two for OKC, but I'm pretty sure they're going to get that, and then game three becomes really important. So we'll see how game two rolls, but I'm pretty confident that they'll regroup and they'll definitely win game two. We shall see game two on Sunday, NBA Finals. Indiana gets that win 111-110, lead the series 1-0. Now let's go to a little bit of MLB, and that's the Houston Astros. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about the Houston Astros. So I told you I love baseball. I've been a Houston Astros fan since I was young. I do love the Texas Rangers. Just don't love them more than the Houston Astros. So if the Rangers are playing any other team outside the Astros, I'm cheering for the Rangers. If they're playing the Houston Astros, then I'm going Houston all the way. Been following them for years. And I think they were in a series. Actually, I know they were in a series with Pittsburgh. They win the series 2-1. Game three last night, Framber Valdez gets the win. I didn't put the stats up there, but he was really, I think he had double-digit strikeouts. So it pitched very, very well to get the 8-2 win. So Houston wins game one of this series with McCullers on the mound, and then they lose game two, and then they bring Valdez in for game three, and they get the win 8-2. So they'll be they win the series 2-1. They are actually in first place in their division by about, I think I saw earlier this morning, a game or a game and a half. So that's good to see. So definitely going to be talking about the Astros here every day that I come on. They are starting a series tonight against Cleveland. So we'll definitely take a look at that and talk about that tomorrow as well. But Definitely love that they're in first place. Definitely not the team that we're accustomed to seeing. A lot of injuries still to their pitching staff. Christian Javier is still out. Garcia, I think I saw. I think he's still with the team. He's out. I know France was out. Renel Blanco. So they're not anywhere near. And when those players will come back, I don't know. I need to read up so I can let people that's going to follow this podcast know what I know about it. But I know there's a lot of injuries, so our pitching is still hurting. So in order to make a run, I mean, you're going to have to get everybody healthy, and we're not even close to that yet. But with the pitchers that we do have, they're doing a great job to be in first place in the division. Hopefully, we can hold that first place or stay in the race until hopefully some of these pitchers can get healthy here in the next month, and we start getting them back so they can help us there on the mound. But they're in the series right now with Cleveland. That's game one starts tonight in Cleveland, and we'll talk more about, and I'll recap that game tomorrow. But definitely they get the series win over Pittsburgh 2-1. So great pitching there with McCullers. Hopefully that's something that will continue for him. And Valdez was really a great last night. So we'll keep talking about the Astros, and then the last thing I wanted to talk about here tonight was Aaron Rodgers, and he signs a 1-year deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So this is my take, right? Like Aaron Rodgers was the man. He won a Super Bowl with Green Bay, then leaves Green Bay, has a great career there, and goes to the Jets. But in the last couple of years, with the major injury that happened, he has not been the same Aaron Rodgers, right? So, I understand Aaron Rodgers coming to Pittsburgh, wanting to continue to play. Yeah, I'm sure he wants to win. You're what, 41, 40, 42, something in that age group. I know he's in his 40s already. This is a young man's game, man. Pittsburgh's in the AFC number one. The likes of Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, CJ Stroud coming strong. And then you've got some young guns that are coming in. New England has a young quarterback that's probably going to get better. Denver. I mean, the competition is tough. Aaron Rodgers, what I don't understand from Pittsburgh is they had an opportunity to get a young quarterback that you possibly could have liked and built upon. Unless I'm missing something, Aaron Rodgers is probably going to play another year or two. Like let's say this year, I don't see much of an upgrade. But I mean, I know he's Aaron Rodgers, and it's an upgrade from what you have on the roster now. I think Mason Rudolph was going to start. So if you can get an Aaron Rodgers, I'd probably do the same thing, right? If I'm in a situation where I can get him and I'm taking my chances. But I don't think, based on what I have seen the last 2 years, he had the injury, and then what he did last year, that he's going to be able to come into Pittsburgh. And I get excited to say, oh man, here we are. We got the guy that we need. So we're definitely, now we got a shot at the playoffs. And we can make some noise in the playoffs, and we got a chance to get to the AFC Championship. Like, I don't see that sitting down right now at all. At best, he may win you a couple of more games than what Mason Rudolph was going. Like, I'm just being serious here, right? I don't like the pick to sign Aaron Rodgers for Pittsburgh, because if he does, let's just say he does have a great year this year, and let's say he does get you in the playoffs, is he good enough to beat Patrick Mahomes or Baltimore and Lamar Jackson, or maybe Cincinnati, Joe Burrows, or Buffalo and Josh? I don't think so. And then he says, you know what? I may run it back next year. Or he has a really bad year and doesn't make the playoffs. And then he says, you know what? I'm done. I'm not coming back. Or I got to think, now what do you do if you're Pittsburgh, obviously, I thought there were some quarterbacks that Pittsburgh could have got this year that I think they could have continued to build on. Maybe they like someone that's coming in out the next year or the year after. I mean, Arch Manning is one of those that's coming out in about 2 years, if not next year. So I don't know. Maybe they're waiting on that. That's why they got Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I don't know what their plan is, but if they don't go out and able to get one of those quarterbacks, which they may not be able to, you're basically going to start the process again of having to go and rebuild with a young guy eventually. Like if you're Pittsburgh, you got to go out and get yourself a franchise young quarterback. That's what these other guys. Josh Allen still got a couple years left. Joe Burrow's got years left. Lamar Jackson's got years left. And Patrick Mahomes still got some years left. And then you got C.J. Stroud and Justin Herbert. These guys are not going anywhere in the next 3 to 4 years. So if you're Pittsburgh, you've got to go and find yourself a young franchise quarterback that you can start building that's going to play for you and your organization for the next 10 plus years. Like that's what you got to do. And Aaron Rodgers, his signing doesn't do that for you, right? At the most, you may get a year or two from him. And like I said, from what I saw last year, um, he may win you a couple of games. Definitely not going to get you in the AFC championship. Now you play the game and you never know, right? But if I was a bet man, I'd bet against it. So I don't know what Pittsburgh's doing. They know something I don't know. I'm going to watch the season. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he'll prove me wrong. But if I was a betting man, I'd be betting my money that Aaron Rodgers isn't going to do much for Pittsburgh except maybe win a couple of more games. So it is an upgrade from what you had. But again, if the season goes sour and he doesn't get you in the playoffs like he did the Jets, then he's going to say, well, I don't know, maybe it's over. Maybe I'm not coming back. And then what do? Then you got to go out and search for another quarterback. I think it would have been best to try to get one now. Obviously, the ones I thought they had a chance with Shedeur Sanders, they didn't take him. Not sure why. I think Shedeur's a winner. I think that guy, all these teams that passed up on him, I think they're going to regret it. I mean, he's a winner. Regardless, now there's all kinds of talk about what he does and what he did in the interviews. And I don't know if all that's true or not, but the guy can play some football and he's a winner. Now I know the NFL is a lot different than college, but I think if I was an owner, I'd have considered really bringing him onto my team because I think he's going to do good in the NFL. We'll see how all that plays out, but I do not like the signing that Pittsburgh did with Aaron Rodgers. Just as a guy that follows the NFL, because I can honestly tell you, Pittsburgh is not a team that I like. I'm not a fan of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I do like Mike Tomlin. I think he's a great coach. I think he's done a great job. So I'm not a Pittsburgh Steeler fan by any means, but I am a Tomlin fan, but I just don't think that Aaron Rodgers is the guy that's going to get done. The signing, I don't see what that's going to do for them at all. Maybe win them a couple more games. Again, I could be wrong, but you never know. But I think Aaron Rodgers, the best of Aaron Rodgers, it's passed him up. I don't think we're going to see that Aaron Rodgers anymore. But listen, hey, man, he probably could prove me wrong. That's why we watch the NFL. But like I said, I'm going to give you my opinion on what I read and what I've seen. So if I was a betting man, again, I'll say it for the last time, I'd be betting that he's not going to do much for the organization. Prove me wrong, Aaron. Prove me wrong. So again, just a couple of topics here to talk here on GT Sports, our pro and college podcast. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll recap the game 3 of the college softball women's World Series. Go Texas, hook 'em. Hopefully they get the win. And then game 2 of the NBA Finals will be on Sunday. And of course, I'm taking Indiana to win. They're up 1-0, but that series is far from being over. And then tomorrow, we're definitely going to talk some UFC. So I'll be back tomorrow afternoon. Again, we pre-record this right now, and then I'll upload it here. It'll be uploaded to our GT Sports Pro College channel, our YouTube channel, and then our Facebook. That's all we're doing now. Eventually, after I keep going a little bit here, I'll eventually start going live on the Facebook page, and then eventually we'll kind of expand over to Spotify and Twitter. But right now, it's just on GT Sports Pro College channel, our YouTube channel, and our Facebook. So again, hopefully people will listen. Hopefully you like it. Like I said, I'll just give you my opinion. I'm a guy that loves sports. Just get on the microphone, turn on the camera, and talk to people and let them know what I'm feeling. Again, I'll be right a few times. I'll be wrong a lot of times, but I'll give you my opinion. And of course, if you agree or disagree with me, you can hit the comments. Let me know. Write something in the comments. I'll go back and forth with you. Or if you want to come on the podcast, man, I can definitely get you on and we can go in front of the camera and debate why you disagree with me on football, basketball, UFC, boxing, wrestling, baseball, whatever you want to talk, anything that has to do with sports, volleyball, any of those things. I'm not good at tennis or golf or anything like that, but I can definitely learn. But if you want to definitely talk sports, definitely you can reach me through the comment section, or definitely if you want to come on the podcast, I'll welcome all. Thank you very much. Have a great night. And again, hook 'em. I hope the Lady Longhorns get the win tonight. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.